Good morning, brothers and sisters. How are you all today? Happy New Year. Okay, so can I do some shifting? Can I invite all the backbenchers to come and fill up the business class seats today? Yeah, come. For a limited time, these are available for free upgrades. Yeah. The backbenchers over here, we can fill up. Yes. Okay, good. So today's topic, living with gratitude. Are you all grateful people? Say yes. Yes. Okay. I think all of us have felt gratitude before. Yeah. How do you feel when you are grateful? Do you feel happy, or do you feel sad? You're happy, isn't it? Yeah. How about when you? Is there a time when you actually consciously feel ungrateful? You know, the interesting thing is, it's like if you ask a person who is drunk, "Are you drunk?" The people who are drunk never say that they are drunk. Yeah. So I think it's hard for us to know when we are grateful, or no, when we are ungrateful. Yeah. Easy for us to know when we are grateful. Yeah. Not so easy to know when we are not so grateful. Yeah. But why know the difference? Yeah. Why know the difference? So, if you consider this morning, we on the way back, on the way here, I was with Mao, and we were talking about the different programs and the different locations, and then we talked about Yo's building. Yeah. What do you all think about the premise here? Is it good? Better be good, huh? Yeah. We are getting to use it every week, huh? Yeah. But we also noted that, like the main hall, on the ground floor, is a bit run down. Yeah. But despite that, this place is okay. You can get to use it. So consider, just to have this talk, then you have one basic condition, which is the premise. What else is required? What else is required? Huh? Volunteers? Okay, the volunteers is required. What else? What do the volunteers do? Huh? Ushering the. What if the volunteers are not here? Will the crowds get lost? So the volunteers help to set up the place. Yeah. If they are not here to set up, will you be able to set up? Will you be able to set up? Should be able to. Huh? Do you all know where the cushions are kept? You all know, right? Yeah. So it's not that without the volunteers, then we cannot have the talk. But with the volunteers, they make your life simpler, easier. You just come in, sit down. Yeah. So volunteers, next time, don't put cushions at the back. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Oftentimes, when the difference is something that seems to be negligible, or when things are working, it's hard for us to feel their presence. Like because the volunteers are here every week, by the time most people come in, you see the cushion, you see the lights and everything. Yeah. So when things work, then it's hard for us to, in a way, appreciate it. Yeah. Or because we don't really think about it as well. Yeah. Then we can say that perhaps unconsciously, we don't actively evoke gratitude. But not that we are not grateful. Are you all grateful for the volunteers? Say yes. Louder. Yes. Yeah, this side more grateful, this side. Later lunch, this side go first. No wonder you are nearer to the door. Yeah. In Buddhism, we say that all things have conditions. Yeah, all things have conditions. In a way, even gratitude. Even gratitude. So there are various practices in Buddhism that help us to develop different qualities. We are very familiar with developing metta, karuna, yeah, loving kindness and compassion. Are you all familiar? Familiar or not? Are you all here for the first time? How many of you are here for the first time? No, most of you are regular. You are here for the first time. What's your name?
Harin.
Huh? Harin. First time here?
First time.
Because you saw my photo. Yeah, so better get his contact. Yes. So we are familiar with practices like metta, karuna, for example. How do you all practice metta, karuna? You sit down here, yeah, you sit down there, or here maybe, and then the instructor, the venerable, will guide you all. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then consider, may I be well and happy. Yeah, is that how you all start with metta, metta bhavana? You all don't meditate, You all do, right? Yeah. So when you do that practice, some of us may find it very natural, yeah, and very easy. Sometimes you may find that on some days it's easier, and some days may be a bit difficult. In fact, in the Buddhist tradition, there is a preliminary before we do that practice. Yeah. And it is again reflecting on the conditions. Yeah. So by reflecting on the benefit, yeah, or the support that others have rendered us, then that becomes a very direct basis for us to have metta, karuna towards them. Yeah. Consider, there's this verse in the Buddhist tradition. It's in Mandarin. I will translate for you. So, 济公多少量比来处. It's one of the 5 contemplations that monastics in the Chinese Mahayana tradition would perform. Yeah, it's a reflection. So there are 5 contemplations. Yeah, today I'm just sharing with you the first one. Yeah. So 济公多少量比来处. So as we receive food, as you all will receive food later, yeah, to consider how much effort was put in order to deliver the food to us. Yeah. And then how much resources have been put in as well. Yeah. So all the different conditions that come together for the food to be presented to us. Yeah. If we were to consider that, then we would have a more complete picture of our relation with the food. Yeah. And not just today. Yeah. Today, when we have food later, did you all buy the food? It's prepared by the volunteers also. Oh, see, again, volunteers. Yeah. Give them a round of applause, volunteers. Yeah, so the volunteers will help to prepare the food. Maybe they buy the food, maybe they cook the food. Yeah. So at some point, certain resources have to be put together. And those resources have to be delivered as well. So the fact that we have food later is not simply the effort of the volunteers, but the volunteers plus those who prepare the resources, the ingredients for the food, including those who work in the utilities, so that they have gas. Yeah? And if you were to go further, then it includes the whole supply chain, the logistics. It includes those in the agricultural industry. And it extends almost, you could say, infinitely. And that's just food. That's just food. So this is a form of reflection. It's very simple, and it can be extended to virtually all aspects of our life, not just food. I want you to look at yourself, okay, and consider, besides our physical body, to consider all the material things that you brought today, that is with you at this moment. For those who wear spectacles, consider the spectacles, and then those who wear contact lenses, and then the shirt or T-shirt, the top that you are wearing, and maybe some of you, the scarf, and then your pants, your skirt or dress, your belt, basically all your garments, and maybe any accessories that you are using, your watch, and so on and so forth. To consider. How many of you made your own spectacles? Today, if we were to suddenly, have all the opticians go on strike, I don't know how many people would just go blind, you just think about it, it's mind-boggling. If suddenly the whole group of opticians, they just decided, you know what, we have earned enough money. You know what, we're going to go and become monks. We're going to go to Australia and ordain under Ajahn Brahm. And then suddenly in Singapore, all of us have to go JB to make specs, Every single item that we use, directly or indirectly, is contributed by somebody. And in many cases, when we think in this way, we will perhaps think about the most immediate person who passed the item to us. So in the case of food, we'll think about the volunteers. In the case of our clothing, if it's bought by somebody, offered as a gift, we'll think about the person who offered that gift. If we bought something from a shop, we'll think about that shop, the salesperson, and perhaps whoever is within that company. But if you go one step further, then you realize that it's not just those individuals. Many, many other individuals. And if you were to reflect in this way, you will either become grateful or crazy. Because it is so massive, It's so massive. I want you to do this reflection now. Just sit quietly for a while. And just consider the material things that we have, and just consider the things that you have brought today. And without going through your bag, see if you know what is inside your bag, and try to run through in your mind, and perhaps try to recall how did this item come to your possession as well. It's one thing to know sort of by inference that, somebody must have bought this or somebody made this. But to at least, to your best knowledge, to consider of all the different items you have, how did they come to your possession? Did we buy it? Yeah? Or did somebody give it to us? And perhaps to then reflect, when did we buy it? Under what conditions and circumstances? And just do a brief reflection. And to consider, after going through the various items, is there any one item that is in your possession solely due to you as a condition? So if you were to go one level, 2 levels, or even 3 levels down, you find that the number of individuals involved in just the physical things we have as of now, yeah, it becomes quite massive. Without any of them, then will be quite different. Yeah. But our existence is not simply just about the things we have brought today, isn't it? Yeah. How about this physical body? Yeah. How about this physical body? If we consider our present existence, it's not just the physical things we have, yeah, but also this physical body. Yeah. This physical body is here. Yeah. Also because you all decided to come and somebody provided transport, but also the existence of the physical body. Yeah? That itself is not simply because you took a bus or took a train or drove here, yeah, but because you took sustenance the day before. Yeah? You took the right sustenance. You didn't take the right sustenance in excessive amount. You didn't take the wrong sustenance. Yeah? You were not harmed. Yeah? And the day before as well. Yeah? And the day before. And for as long as you have lived, all the days that have come before today, every single day, do you all eat every day? Yes, huh? Any of you do fasting? Huh? Some of you maybe try the detox program, huh? Yeah. Yeah, but whether you do detox or not, I'm sure you don't detox for more than 3 days, right? Yeah. Yeah. So the daily sustenance, consumption of the food. Now, this part, maybe when we think about it, it may seem a bit foreign, yeah, unfamiliar for us. But actually, there's this teaching that the Buddha gave called the 4 sustenance. Yeah, are you all familiar with it? The 4 sustenance. Yeah, in the Pali Canon, the Buddha shared that there are 4 kinds of food, 4 kinds of sustenance, 4 kinds of nutriment. Yeah? The first is the solid food. In Chinese, we call it 断食. The second is 处时. Third is 意时. The fourth is 时时. Do not be mistaken that when I use Mandarin that is something from Chinese Mahayana tradition. Yeah, because a lot of a huge part of the teaching is common across the different traditions. Yeah. I like to do this sometimes. When I go to centers that is more English speaking, then I'll use a bit of Mandarin. Then when I go to a Chinese center, I'll use English. Yeah. And Chinese Mahayana centers, I'll share with them Pali Canon teachings. Yeah. Then I go to Theravadan inclined centers, then I'll share with them Mahayana teachings. Yeah. Not to stir the pot, well, in a way it's to stir the pot. Yeah. But also to highlight how the delineation that we sometimes think is so solid is not so solid also. That the bulk of the teachings is common. Yeah, it's common. But it doesn't mean that we should then embrace every single one. Yeah, because we all have our own inclination and affinity towards different traditions. Yeah. But to know that our affinity doesn't mean that there's that solid line delineation between the traditions as well. Yeah. So earlier I mentioned about the 4 nutriment. Yeah. The first one is sustenance through the physical food. Yeah. So the Buddha actually shared that these 4 sustenance sustain us through samsara. The noble disciple, seeing clearly, then relates to these 4 sustenance in a different way, does not crave for them. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that the Buddha and the monks don't take food. They also take food, but they don't crave for that food. Yeah. They learn to relate to the food in a proper way. Yeah. And then the second is contact. Yeah. 处, contact. We tend to think that our existence is only about the body. Yeah. Because in science we learn that you don't take food and water, yeah, after a few days you die. You don't have oxygen, you die. Yeah. But in Buddhism, the Buddha teaches us that he observed that not just that, yeah, there is contact, yeah, contact through the senses, without which our life, our mind cannot take it. And today, in some centers, they do sensory deprivation experiments. Yeah. And they found that most human beings cannot stand that. Yeah. So all this points to how our simple life, yeah, this body, requires a lot of sustenance. But even more importantly, how about our mind? Yeah, how about our mind? Sometimes if we think about it, our existence, what defines who we are? Yeah, what defines who we are? The way we speak, the way we think, the way we act, the way we look, is that who we are? Yeah. If we consider the things we have is contributed by others, yeah, by many conditions. Then this body is contributed through our parents' contribution, yeah, at conception, then subsequently by taking solid nutriment. How about the non-physical part of us? Yeah, the 5 aggregates: forms, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Are you all familiar with this? The 5 aggregates? Yes? Yeah. The interesting thing about the Buddhist teaching, the Buddha's teaching is, when you sit down in the Dhamma hall and you think about it, yes, we can understand. Yeah? Forms, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. But when you are at work, do you all think of yourself as forms, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness? Huh? Do you all think in this way? No. Yeah? Usually we don't think in this way. When you are driving on the street, yeah, do you all think, there that form, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. Just cut this form, feeling, perception. Now, if we think in this way, we won't get angry. No time to get angry. By the time we finish thinking, the car has gone off already. And so sometimes the trouble or the challenge is when we're in a Dharma hall, when we're sitting here and listening to Dharma talk, it seems to make sense. But when you go back, you don't see that connection. Well, because on a day-to-day basis, when we interact with others, even when we wake up in the morning and you look into the mirror, do we consider form, feelings, perception, mental formations, and consciousness? When we are awake, do we consider, with the eyes, there's seeing of the form, eye, sense-based, form, sense, object, eye consciousness. Do we think in this way? Unfortunately, we don't think in this way. We don't experience the world in this way. So how? We can think in terms of slightly abstract manner. We can think, okay, body and mind. Slightly more abstract. Just body and mind. So then if you consider body and mind, we talk about body just now. How about the mind? Is the mind truly, independently just you? Our way of thinking, our emotions, is it truly just determined by ourselves? Created by ourselves and formed by ourselves? So think about that. For those who just came in, earlier we started off with the reflection on gratitude. And the basis of gratitude is to consider how, for example, this cup of water, if we reflect on the conditions that bring about this cup of water or this mug of water, then we would realize that many individuals are involved. That for me to get to have a sip, it's not simply about my hand holding the mug and then bring it to my mouth. But many other individuals involved in bringing this to me. So then if you were to use this same model and reflect on your mind, the way you are now, the way we think, the way we speak, then it becomes really interesting, because even the way we speak, and perhaps especially the way we speak, sometimes we may think, the way that person speaks, that's the way he speaks. The way I speak is who I am. But if you were to really recall, when we were, is there any one of you, when you were born, in a hospital, and then when you come out, and you're able to speak, anyone? Like the Buddha, take 7 steps and then, Most of us, I say most, I don't know. Maybe some of you, come out there, excuse me, take it easy, hands off, I'm okay. Or some of you, when you come out, human realm again. I thought I attained arahanthood. Most of us can't speak when we are born. For that matter, we can't speak English. It seems like kids these days, young age, they can speak English. But is it that they are just, born with the English gene now? No, it's because of the exposure. So, consider two words, okay? When I finish spelling it, I want you to pronounce the word, okay? OFTE. O-F-T-E-N. Again? Yeah, so do you hear two different pronunciations? One is often and the other one is often. Yeah, how many of you pronounce it as often? How many of you pronounce as often? How many of you don't know how to pronounce? So this is not to judge you all and say which is right. Apparently both are okay. But I find myself pronouncing it as often. Yeah, and why? Because in Sec 3, way back, there was this geography teacher who would pronounce it as often. Yeah, and I have quite good affinity with her. Yeah, well, partly because I like geography. Yeah, and I got pretty okay grades with it. Yeah, so we tend to emulate others that we feel good about. Yeah, including the word. Some would pronounce as schedule, some would pronounce as schedule. Yeah, I would pronounce as schedule. Yeah, simply because of that affinity. Yeah, and for each of you, there are different conditions why you pronounce a certain way. Yeah, some are less obvious, some are more obvious. There was once, actually not once, many times, when I called back home, and I wanted to speak to my mom. And I called back home, and my mom picked up, and then I would just rattle on. And when I finish, and then the person on the other side says, 师父, I'm second sister. She sounds just like my mom. Yeah. And sometimes, last time, when my mom called back, she would think that I'm my dad. Yeah. And some of this, whether you consider it to be genetic, but I think it's less genetic, but more exposure. Yeah, you just hear the person say those phrases, then you just, emulate unconsciously. Yeah. And then one day I realized that even the way I cough sounded like my dad. So when you hear me cough, you're hearing an image of my dad. Yeah. And so there are so many aspects of us when we think, oh, this is who I am. Yeah, the ego comes out. Yeah. If it's something good, wow, pride. Yeah. Or if it's something bad, then I don't know how we respond to it. Yeah. But even this aspect, actually points to, in the Buddhist tradition, we call it anatta. Yeah, no self. Yeah. When the Buddha gave the teaching on no self, no self, anatta. Or in modern writings, sometimes they write it as no non-self. Yeah, whether it's non-self or no self, it is pointing to how there's no entity or essence within us that is permanent, unchanging, that is within our own absolute control. Yeah. Think about it. Easy for us to understand that, okay, material things is not who we are. Yeah? Material things is not who we are. Yeah? And material things is not in our absolute control. How about this body? How about this body? Is it within our control? Yeah. Not within our absolute control. Not that we don't have control. Yeah. All of you raise your left hand. Left, not right, left. Yeah, put it down. You see, so easy to control you. Just ask you to raise your hand, you raise your hand. Now raise your right hand. Wow, really quite easy to control. Of course, it's not that I'm controlling you. Yeah, it's that, you respect that suggestion and then you decide. Ultimately, you are the one who decides. If I'm having control over your body, then we should do this. Don't raise your hand. And I just do this and your hand just go, then that is me controlling your hand. Yeah, it's always you controlling your hand. But even that control, the key thing is, even that control depends on conditions. Depends on conditions. And that's why some days, if you are of a certain age, you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, having difficulty raising your hand. Yeah? Having difficulty turning your back or turning your head. Yeah. If you have absolute control, then you should be able to do anything with your body, yeah, anytime, anywhere. But that movement, that control over even our body, is dependent on conditions. But how about our mind, the non-physical part? Yeah. Our feelings, our thoughts, yeah, the way we think, yeah, the decisions we make, and so on, the whole range of mental constructs, mental fabrications. Even that, if you really meditate and you observe, all those are also dependent on conditions. Yeah? Our very existence is conditioned. Yeah? Conditioned. Yeah. Sankara. You know the word sankara? Yeah. Translated in different ways. Mental fabric. Sankara in the larger scope is simply fabrications or formations. Yeah. It can also refer to conditioned phenomena. Yeah. Conditioned. Yeah, that our very existence is due to conditions. We start off with gratitude. Yeah. So consider, the way we are is not simply due to our own doing. We are not totally divorced from the result as well. Yeah. But there are many other factors involved, yeah, that allowed this present form, yeah, the way we are, to exist. Yeah. And not just the physical. Easy for us to see the physical, but how about the mental part? Which then perhaps get us to consider, how about when we are angry? Should we be grateful when we are angry? When we are angry? Has any of you felt gratitude when you are angry? Never. Huh? When you are quarreling with someone, do you all feel gratitude? Almost never, huh? Yeah. Actually, when you're quarreling with someone, we should perhaps feel gratitude as well. You know why? Because when someone is quarreling with you, they are giving you 100% of their attention. You know, when you go out with your friends for a meal, you're talking to them, then they are like, you know, they are checking their handphone once in a while, then they are replying, yeah, yeah, yeah. You try this. You go for lunch with your friend, and then you just keep on saying, Yeah, most of them can't figure that you are not listening. But not all friends, not all friends. Yeah. But when you're quarreling, when you're quarreling with someone, the person gives you absolute attention. Yeah? And when you don't pay attention to them when they're quarreling with you, what happens? They demand your attention. Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey. Yeah, but not easy for us to be grateful in that way. Yeah. But in the Buddhist tradition, there's another reason why we can and should be grateful when we quarrel with someone. And it is that person gave us the conditions for us to practice. Even in such a condition. Yeah? In situations that is not agreeable, that is disagreeable, that is unpleasant. Yeah. We say that this is a chance for us to practice patience. Like for example, when you come to BF, not much opportunity to practice patience. When you arrive, light is on, volunteers prepare everything, aircon, you ask for help, everybody, yes, brother, sister, what can I do for you? no chance to practice patience. Yeah. But if you happen to go to a place, yeah, or maybe some days, like maybe when you come, then when you come to a Buddhist center, like let's say BF or some other center, have you ever encountered, maybe yourself or others, when you go to a center, and then maybe you got told off, cannot do this, cannot do that, yeah, or maybe something didn't go accordingly, and then you feel a bit, and maybe there's this thought, I don't want to come here again, yeah. Actually, that is an opportunity, yeah, because if you go to a center and everybody is nice to you, can you practice patience when everything is going well? Can or not? Cannot. Nothing to practice. Yeah. If there's no city jam, nothing to practice. Yeah. When everything goes according to our wishes, can we practice? Cannot practice. Yeah. So in the Buddhist text, there's this mention about how if you are reborn in a place without disagreeable conditions, it will actually take longer for you to attain enlightenment. We tend to think, I need to go for a retreat. Yeah, I need to go away from whatever I'm encountering. This place is not suitable for cultivation. Yeah. I need to go far away into this place. Oh, so serene, beautiful mountain. Hey, turn around, take a look. Wow, look at the mountain range, so nice. And then in the distance, there's a creek with water. Oh, there I will find peace. There I will find nibbana. Yeah. Yeah. We tend to think in this way. But in the Buddhist teachings, it says that if you are in a place that is too comfortable, yeah, without any disturbances, difficult to practice, if at all. Yeah, if at all. But too much disturbances, for most people, we cannot practice also. Human realm is most ideal because we have a bit of comfort, yeah. But once in a while, someone will come along, yeah, something may happen. Yeah. So that when you see the Buddha's teaching, the first noble truth, the truth of suffering, then we can appreciate. If you have never experienced any discomfort, any frustration in your life before, and then you hear the teachings, the noble truth of suffering, what is this? You cannot understand and connect. So even when we are at work, or even at Buddhist centers, in our family, do you all experience frustration at home? Say yes. Yes. There's this verse, Jia means, Jia has a dual meaning. It means home or family, so Jia, 烦恼之处, it is where defilements are. So in the Buddhist tradition, the monastics, we have a term, homeless one. It denotes not just living the family life, but to leave behind defilements. But in the meantime, when you're at home, instead of thinking, after work, I better go to BF. After work, Monday I go to BF. Tuesday I go to BF. Wednesday I go to BF. Weekend I come to BF. Why? When I go, Sifu, when I go back home, so much frustration. So much worry and whatever. I don't have to think in this way. If I tell you, you should look forward to going back because then you can cultivate. Can you accept it? Cannot. A bit difficult. But that's the truth. Yeah. Cultivation, once in a while, is helpful to go for a retreat. But cultivation cannot be found outside of where you are. Yeah. Your practice must be where you are. You cannot wait until you are free and you go on a retreat, then you cultivate. Yeah. In your house, in your room, that's where you need to cultivate. When you go to the toilet, you need to cultivate. When you're at work, you need to cultivate. When you go for a meeting, you need to cultivate. Yeah. And if you can slowly try that, then easy for us to be grateful. Yeah. Yeah, easy for us to be grateful. Do you all think Shifu face challenges? Yes? Do you think so? A lot of people think that monk's life very simple. A lot of people think in that way. Yeah? If they see that we are wearing the Chinese robes, then they think whole day just down there, tok 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 tok, you know. Yeah. And the funnier ones, they will think, oh, Chinese robe. So every morning you must go and carry water, is it? That Singapore no need to do that. Just turn the tap. Yeah, but even as a monastics, yeah, things don't always go our way. Yeah, we take up the robes, or we take up Buddhism, not simply to just run away from all the problems. Yeah, not about that. Yeah. In the monastery, within the Buddhist societies, as long as there's interaction, yeah, those can be conditions for defilements to arise. The challenge is to see the defilements when they arise, to be aware of the conditions for the defilements to arise. That even when you encounter someone who is annoying, yeah, trust me, I've met a lot of people. Yeah. One moment we may think, so annoying. But maybe next moment I feel, given the conditions, this is how it is. Yeah. And even more importantly, how annoying that person is oftentimes, a reflection of how much defilements there is in you. Yeah. The person is a mirror of the state of your mind. And that's why there's this saying, 心净国土净, that when your mind is purified, then the whole land is purified for you. Yeah. Ask yourself, if the Buddha is here in Singapore, do you think he'll be frustrated with anything? No. Yeah? Because the roots of frustration has been removed. Yeah? When he encounter individuals, it doesn't mean that the Buddha encounter everybody who is nice to him, Not everybody come to him, Bante, great cultivator. No. There were those who come to him and started scolding him. Yeah? Not everybody come to him and address him as Master Gautama. No. Yeah. Some just address him ascetic Gautama. Some just, address him in a very, very... There was once his disciple actually addressed him as friend. Yeah. This to me is a reminder, because I'm a Shifu ma, So sometimes some students or some devotees, they're very cute, They text me, and then they text me, "Hi, Chuan Guan." Yeah, the things that keep monks up at night. No, not so bad, not so bad. Yeah, like in the first few years when I was ordained, I was quite I was quite caught up with this, Hey, how can this person call me by my name? Yeah. But when we look at the examples of the Buddha and his disciples, no problem. Yeah. Of course, actually, it's not really a problem. Anyway, Chuan Guan is not even my name; it's given, right? Yeah. All our names are given. Yeah. But the trouble is, we are unconsciously over time, we are attached to the names, and what the names imply. Or when people call me Shifu, or it implies something. When people call me this, it implies something. And then we get caught up with that. Unconsciously, we can become attached to that also. So even a term like venerable or shifu or bante, then we can become attached to that. We can become attached. And the moment you are attached to that, then suffering arises. So all these are opportunities for us to catch ourselves. So from the food we take, you can reflect on the conditions, and then give rise to gratitude. From the things we have, we can reflect and consider the countless individuals who have gone through much inconveniences to contribute to our simple life. Not that we have very high demands or anything, but even the simplest wish. When you wake up, you flip the switch to have light. When you turn the faucet to have water, even something simple like that requires the contribution, the effort of so many individuals. And even who we are. Even who we are. Some of us, young individuals, are still studying, and most of us, we have finished our studies. Then maybe we are working in various positions in society. We may feel quite good, feel quite accomplished. I've shared a few times with some young students to remember, no matter how successful you become in the future, to remember the contributions that come before you, to enable us to become who we are. For most of us, the primary condition would be our parents. Our parents. So I have shared with some students, do not look down upon our parents. Our parents may be not educated, or maybe not as educated as us. My parents, my father haven't finished O-levels. My mother didn't finish primary school. Luckily they didn't come today. Because my mom always, we are recording. It's okay. My mom always tell me, don't tell people so much things. Later your students don't respect you. I'm like, well, first of all, I didn't become a monk for people to respect. Number two, if people have disrespect simply because of that, well, it reflects more on them than me. What do I care? I'm very proud of my parents. In fact, the fact that they are not so educated makes me even prouder of them. Because despite their conditions, they were able to make a decent living, live an honest, upright life, and bring up 4 children. To do all that, no easy feat, And I'm sure all our parents have done their sacrifice in different ways. So I want to wrap up today's session, to bring us back, especially in this period, Chinese New Year. Sometimes Chinese New Year, we may feel a bit awkward, go and meet our relatives and so on. But if we come to meet them with gratitude, to consider the conditions. Sometimes it may seem like, we are relatives, but we are not really in touch, And once a year, hello, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And then they will ask awkward questions, especially if you are in your 20s or 30s and not married, right? Then they're, hi. Got girlfriend already or not? Huh? Got boyfriend already or not? Not married yet, huh? Yeah. Actually, sometimes, how many of you get asked those kind of questions? No one, all married already. Actually, when relatives ask in this way, they are actually feeling very nervous also, They don't know what to ask you. I mean, think about it, right? Who in their right frame of mind will wake up one morning and say, I'm going to ask them awkward questions later? Right? It's because they don't know what else to say to you. So they are just trying to make small talk, make conversation. So they are trying. Yeah. So we should appreciate their effort. Yeah. Thank you for caring for my well-being, Yeah, but I come to Buddhist fellowship. We learn Dharma here. I'm quite happy the way I am. Yeah. And I haven't found someone to share this happiness with me. Yeah. Yeah. Or no one has enough merit to share this happiness with me yet. Yeah. So during this period, I hope everybody, when we go for New Year visit, to consider with gratitude, the conditions that we all share, and the kindness that each other have afforded one another, and even more importantly, starting with our parents, to consider, to be alive, to have the conditions to be who we are. Started off with, of course, our past wholesome merits, and together with our parents as the conditions. So give you all an exercise, so that it's not just Dhamma talk, laugh, go back, here. Go back, give you all an exercise. See how long you all can persist. If you have the fortune to be staying with your parents, even if you are already grown up, make an effort. Every day, offer to your parents a cup of water. When is the last time any of you offered a cup of water to your parents? In the past 1 week, how many of you offered water to your parents? Oh, not bad. Still a handful. Good. Yeah. No, I'm not here to shame you all, okay? Yeah. But this is something I realized, that after a while we forget, we forget to do simple things like that. So something simple like that. Start off doing that. Every morning, greet them, and then just pour a cup of water, offer to them. I think they'll feel so comforted, Yeah. And we say we are grateful. How? Not just in our mouth or in our mind. Express it. Okay? So, and with that, wish all of you good health, happiness. And I want to also extend the dedication